25th of December, Rabbi Levitt, Gemora.
Here today. All right. Okay, so okay. Oh boy, I don't see any end in sight to this Gemora. Where's this Gemora end? We're going to get deeper and deeper and deeper into trouble over here. That's all I see. Yeah, okay. I don't know. Okay, so we have to decide what we're doing over here. I don't feel that we really are understanding this subject matter properly, and it's because we didn't really understand the basic principles from the beginning, and so now the Gemara is going further in elaborating and elaborating. We're not capable of following the line of reasoning that the Gemara is going in over here. There may be difficulties in just the understanding of each sentence as we go. Also, that might be true. Also, but the only problem is that we it really starts all the way back on Yud Beis Amud Beis on the bottom. So we're like right in the middle of a raging ocean, and we're drowning. That's basically what it is. So you can, to go back to shore, it's also not so easy.
I think we need a life raft.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think we should go back and do it again.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was afraid to say, but at least we have a second chance to try to follow the train, follow the steps as they build up. Okay. So that's the Mishnah. It's the Mishnah on Yud Beis, Amud Beis. Okay. Okay, so we just got two people here so far. So Lou, you want to read the Mishnah?
Okay, Yud Beis. 12b3. I'm going to read the English. As long as we're reviewing, we can be thorough about it. The rest of the chapter deals with the finding of documents, which surely cannot be awarded to the finder and would not benefit him in any case. The document definitely belongs to one of the principals named in it. However, returning it to one of the principals will benefit him but harm the other. The following Mishnahs will delineate when and to whom the document should be returned. Matzah Shitrei Chov. One found notes of indebtedness. Im yesh bahen acharayos nichasim if there is provision for a lien on real property in the notes, lo yachazir, the refinder may not return them to the creditor. Shebeis din nifra'in mehen. For the court will exact payment from the properties based on these notes. Ein bahen acharayos yachazir. The finder should return them to the creditor. She'ein beis din nifra'in mehen. For the court will not exact payment from the properties based on these notes. Divrei Rebbe Meir. These are the words of Rebbe Meir.
Okay.
The Chachamim Omrim, but the sages say, Ben kach uben kach, in either case, lo yachazir, the finder may not return them to the creditor. Mipnei shebeis din nifra'in mehen. For the court will exact payment from the properties based on these notes. So I think one thing I'd like to try to understand is why it says the court will not exact payment from the properties based on these notes in the opinion of Rebbe Meir. The footnote says the Gemora will explain the Mishnah's reasoning for this distinction between these two types of notes, according to Rashi.
Right. What I would like to know is, okay. So you're asking why the Gemora is going to explain, but what exactly does it mean that the Beis Din will exact payment on these? You don't have to give it back to the creditor because the Beis Din will exact payment from the property that the purchaser bought from the borrower. So therefore, that's a reason not to give it back to the creditor? I see this is going to be discussed later on also. Okay, so yeah.
Well, I guess we said there were a couple of reasons why we don't want to return it to the creditor. If it has a lien, one thing we were concerned about was a conspiracy. That the lender and the borrower conspired to cheat the purchaser of the property.
Yeah.
I got Alan calling me.
Okay, so these are the words of the Mishnah. Rashi explains what the Chrais Nechasim is.
Okay, you want to try and get in now?
Yeah, I'm gonna try. Yeah.
All right, Alan's going to try and get in. Yeah. He lost his connection.
Okay, I'll be looking for him.
All right, Java's looking for you.
Okay.
You want me to send you a link?
Well, I don't have the internet, so I can't get anything.
Oh, you don't have the internet at all. Okay.
No, just yeah.
All right, so if you get the internet, try to connect. Yeah. And if you don't get in, then call me back.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
All right, bye-bye. All right, sorry for the interruption.
Okay, so let's we'll go directly to the Gemara then. Let's see what the Gemara has to say over here. Um, Phil, you want to read the Gemara?
Where we're starting the Gemara. We'll start at the Gemara with the Maya scheme.
Right.
Okay, the Maya scheme. What are we dealing with? Alema, if you will say, that if he's chayev, moder, the one who's chayev admits it, someone who has properties that are guaranteed, amai, why lo chazir? Why shouldn't you return it to him? Ha moder, because he admits it. Once he's admitting it, why not return it to him? The ein chayev, and if he's not really chayev, moder, that he admits it, ki ein behem because he doesn't have any. The properties aren't guaranteed. Amai chazer, why should you return it to him? So either way, you got an issue as to why should you return it to him?
Yes.
Either way, you not chayev, you have to return it. You should why would you have to return
It doesn't mean that whether he has properties. It means that you have a clause written specifically and openly in the shtar that provides for the lien of the properties for in the event of non-payment by the borrower. If you so the Gemara is asking when the borrower is moda, meaning he's moda that what? He's moda that he's got to pay. He has not yet paid. He's moda that there was a loan. He's moda that the shtar is authentic, I guess, and he's moda that he furthermore has not paid the shtar. He has not paid the money that he's owed, like it says in this shtar. So in that case, why should you not give it back why not give it back? The Mishnah says because it's got a clause in it providing for the lien on property in the event of non-payment. Why should that be a reason not to give it back? That's the Gemara's question. The guy's moda that he didn't pay it, and that the creditor is entitled to his money. So the Gemara doesn't understand that. Second thing, the Gemara says, and we also don't understand the other case. If you say that the Mishnah is not talking about that he was moda, but if you say that the Mishnah is talking about that he was not moda, he's not moda to the obligation that it says in this contract. In the contract.
All right, great, thanks.
Okay, thank you.
If the Mishnah is talking about a case where the what's his name? His name is the loiva. A loiva is a borrower. If the borrower is not moda, meaning he claims that he paid it. So if he claims that he paid it, so why should the Mishnah say, according to Reb Meir, that it depends on whether there's this clause or not? Why should you give it back to the guy? This borrower is saying that he paid it already. So what does it have to do with whether there's a clause that provides for a lien on property in the event of non-payment? He's saying that he paid. And if you'll say, grant that he didn't, granted that since it doesn't have such a provision, he won't be able to collect from property that was sold to a purchaser because it doesn't have such a provision over there. But he could collect from unencumbered property, meaning property that the loiva already still has in his possession. If you give that document back to the creditor, he'll use it against the loiva, and the borrower says he's already paid it up. So you can't do that either. So at this point, the Gemora is in a quandary. What is the case that the Mishnah is talking about? If the Mishnah is either way, whether it doesn't make sense what it says in the Mishnah, according to Reb Meir. That's the Gemora's question. Whether you say that the borrower admits, it doesn't make sense. Whether you say the borrower doesn't admit, it also doesn't make sense to give it back to give it back. What's the Mishnah? Therefore, what's the Mishnah talking about? Okay. So that I think is clear now. So now the Gemara is going to give an answer to this. La'olam. I don't see Alan. Alan still.
Alan lost his internet. It's not a computer problem. It's the basic internet is not working. So he's going to call me back if it starts working again.
Okay. So now it's Lou's turn to read the Gemara.
Okay, the Gemara answers. Le'olam. Excuse me. Le'olam b'shechayav modeh. Actually, the Mishnah refers to a case where the debtor admits that the debt is still owed. V'hacha chayinu tama. And here, in the case of a note that contains a lien provision, the reason for not returning the note to the creditor is the chayshinan shema kasav lilos benisan, that we are apprehensive that perhaps the debtor drew up the note to borrow money in the month of Nisan, so that Nisan is the date that appears on the note as the date of the loan. Velo lava ad Tishrei, but he did not actually borrow the money until 6 months later in the month of Tishrei. V'aseh lemitraf lekuchos shelo chadin. Thus, the creditor, who will have been awarded custody of the note on the strength of the debtor's admission, will come to unlawfully seize the ostensibly mortgaged property from its purchasers. So in other words, the loan document says Nissan, and in what 3 months later, the property that's detailed in the note is sold, and now it comes to be Tishrei, and the document is found, and the borrower admits that he owes the money.
Right.
So they give the loan document to the creditor, The creditor goes to Beis Din and says, give me my money. The borrower says, I don't have it. I don't have any money. So the creditor now goes to the purchaser who purchased the property before the loan was actually made, but after the date on the loan.
Right.
And the court says, okay, we're taking your property because as of the date of this loan, you didn't own it yet. It was owned by the borrower, and therefore it was encumbered by the loan. So the borrower ends up getting cheated.
The buyer of the property.
Well, I'm sorry, the purchaser. Yeah, the buyer. The buyer gets cheated.
Yeah, why is he cheated? Because at the time that he bought the property, there was no loan yet that was made, really.
Right, so the property was not encumbered.
The shtar itself basically says that any property that's bought after this loan has been made is being bought subject to the it's on lien. It's on lien as a security to pay for this loan that the seller of the property borrowed this money from the creditor. But the problem is that it says Nissan on the note, but there was actually no loan that was made then. It was drawn up. It was drawn up in Nissan, but the loan was not actually made until Tishrei, which was 3 months after the borrower sold the property to the purchaser. So really, this property is not subject to being on lien to pay this note. Okay, so this is what the Gemora answers to explain why it says in the Mishnah that when the loiva we're talking about it. In other words, the Mishnah is talking that the loiva was modeh. That's the case. That's the case that the Mishnah is talking about. The Mishnah doesn't tell us explicitly, but the Gemara is now here clarifying la'olam that the Mishnah is in fact talking about where the loiva was modeh, and therefore the creditor is entitled to be paid, and but we're worried that if you return this note that was found in the street, we're concerned that this note was really a post-dated, a predated. It's really a predated document. Predated meaning that what it says on the document that there was a loan that was made didn't happen in Nisan like the date of the document. It only happened in Tishrei, and accordingly, the property that the loan was sold to the purchaser was not subject to being on lien as a result of this note that was found in the street. And so that's why we don't give it back. That's why we don't give it back, this note that was found in the street, even if the loiva admits that he didn't pay it. Nevertheless, we don't give it back to the malva. Okay.
How is it possible that you could have a document that is properly witnessed but is incorrect?
So, okay. So here we go with the questions.
What's the logistics of how the document is written and how it's signed by the witnesses? and what the witnesses are actually witnessing. Are they witnessing that the dates are correct? Or are they just witnessing that he gave him the money?
Yeah. I mean, the witnesses are supposed to be witnesses to everything that it says on the document. So you're basically asking, how did this scenario happen altogether? That there was such a thing as a predated loan document that was signed by the witnesses. Maybe they told the witnesses, "Oh yeah, the Malva is not here yet. He's coming. He's coming in. He's caught in traffic. And he's on his way. So, but the sofer has to leave. He's got to go daven mincha, and just sign the note over here, and we'll I'll give this to the Malva when he lends me the money." So they say, okay.
Is a predated or postdated whatever document legal? Is it legal? If it's legal, it's one thing. If it's not legal, then the witnesses themselves are doing something illegal. And so the whole thing.
Well, who says that they know whether it's legal or not?
Hello?
It doesn't sound so bad. He's coming, he's caught in traffic, whatever it is.
Regardless, they would know if it's legal or not legal. If they don't know whether it's legal or not legal, they shouldn't sign.
Okay, but sometimes people do things that they are not supposed to do.
Okay, so even if they do things they're not supposed to do, they've done something they're not supposed to do. Therefore, what they've done doesn't count. Shouldn't have any effect other than putting them into jail, possibly.
Well, I don't know if we're going to put them into. I wouldn't go that far, but
all right, well, whatever. But still, the point is that Lou's question has brought up is that it's going to be. It's
okay. So basically, you're asking, how could this thing have happened? Why is the Gemora, and therefore, if this thing is if it's not the way that it's supposed to be, how could something like this happen? And furthermore, why should we be concerned? Why should we be choshesh? Why should we entertain the likelihood that such a thing happened, and as a result of that, not give the star back to the lender? Okay,
and
whatever. That's definitely what the Gemora is saying.
Mm-hmm.
For he just phoned me and he's back up, and I sent him a link.
Okay.
All right. I was wondering also, are we allowed? We're playing judge here. We don't know exactly what they're going to do with such a document. If they're going to do something legal with it or something illegal with it. What business is it ours, aside that we should try and prevent a crime? We presume that they're going to do something not right.
Yeah, well, I mean, okay.
Why can't we say that this whole thing, this whole star, is an example that we're trying to show somebody what a star looks like, and so we've got this as a model.
Not sure what you're saying. What does that have to do with what we're saying here? We're trying to explain why we're not going to give it back to the guy, even though the Lova has admitted that he hasn't paid. Why don't we give it back? The Mishnah says we don't give it back to the creditor. We don't give it back to the lender. Why not?
Okay.
Okay, back.
Okay, Alan, you're back.
Well, just about time to.
Team B1.
Okay, Alan, we decided that we're not really clear on what's going on in the Gemora.
Uh-huh.
So we're going back and we're redoing the Gemora from the Mishnah so that we can try and maybe understand better.
Right.
So we're back on 13b3.
Well,
I'm sorry, I said that wrong. 12b3. We're back to page 12.
okay.
But Rabbi, I think we're out of time.
Yeah. I think I remember we there was something that you read on the in the art scroll about post-dated and predated documents.
Yeah, there's a footnote on it.
So they probably say over there whether the document is intrinsically invalid because of on that account or not. Then you'll see. You know, even it may be that it may be that we're talking about we have a concern for the purchaser getting cheated, even though the document that's being used is an invalid document. Okay.
Right. I can read it to you tomorrow if you want. It's a fairly lengthy footnote.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Very good. Okay. All the best, everybody.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Rabbi. Have a happy Hanukkah.
Amen.
Enjoy yourself, Governor Yacht.
Happy Hanukkah.
Enjoy the Torah that you say over about Hanukkah. That's what we're celebrating, that we still learning Torah and doing mitzvahs.
Amen.
Amen, amen. Okay, bye.
Bye.